everybody knows that fame and fortune can be fleeting, you still must make intelligent financial choices. You'd think celebrities would be able to manage their money, but sometimes, stars remind us that they're only human and they make mistakes too. Here are a few celebrities who've hit rock bottom. Nicolas Cage. The national treasure actor squandered more than $150 million in extravagant purchases. There was a time when he owned about a dozen properties, including 2 castles that he never spent a single night in and a private island in the Bahamas. After declaring bankruptcy in 2009, Cage has been trying to replenish his bank account by making as many movies as possible. He's in at least 5 small-budget films this year. Marvin Gaye, arguably one of the biggest soul and R&B singers, the man famous for singing "Let's Get It On," died trying to recover from a costly divorce that caused him to go bankrupt. His drug abuse didn't help, and Gaye died in debt, killed by his own father at the age of 44. Kim Basinger. When she declared bankruptcy in 1993, the American actress and sex symbol had an estimated fortune of $6 million. The producers of Boxing LENA, a film that Basinger backed out of just 4 weeks before filming was supposed to start, ruined her with an $8 million lawsuit. A settlement was reached between the 2 parties and the beautiful blonde star of 50 Shades Darker was forced to pay $3 million for breach of contract. NATASHA LYONNE. Major drug problems put a halt to the promising career of this actress, who starred in American Pie and Woody Allen's Everyone Says I Love You. Years wandering the streets of New York, looking for heroin, and making bad choices led LYONNE to detox, after resorting to crashing at friends' houses and selling everything she had to buy drugs. She seems to have conquered her demons and is now in the hit Netflix series Orange is the New Black. Meet LOAF. The rock singer, born Marvin Day, had to declare bankruptcy in the 80s because a lawsuit brought against him by a collaborator who believed the album he co-wrote with the singer didn't get enough publicity due to Aday's various health problems. The "I'd Do Anything for Love" singer earned a degree of success in the decades that followed and even played several small roles on the big screen. Dennis Rodman. In 2012, the financial advisors of the former NBA champion reported that he was an alcoholic and broke. Years of extravagances, wild spending, and drinking led to his financial ruin. Unable to lower his costly child support payments of $50,000 a month to his ex-wife, Rodman is far from the good old days when he was a famous Chicago Bulls forward. Aaron Carter. The younger brother of Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys was successful at an incredibly young age. At the tender age of 10, he had already accumulated a fortune of over $100 million, thanks to his songs, appearances, and endorsements. But his fortune, mishandled by his parents, evaporated quickly and, at 18, Carter discovered he owed $4 million in back taxes. After declaring bankruptcy, he is still trying to regain the success he had as a child. Francis Ford Coppola. Despite having directed several masterpieces such as The Godfather and The Rainmaker, the American director hasn't always been rolling in cash. In 1981, he spent over $27 million to film One from the Heart, a feature film that only earned $4 million in revenue. Forced to declare bankruptcy for a second time in his career, Coppola was thankfully able to restore his reputation and carve a place for himself among Hollywood's greatest directors. Larry King. In 1972, before he became famous, the broadcaster was accused of fraud by one of his business partners when a deal went bad. Despite being acquitted, his reputation was tarnished, and King was forced to declare bankruptcy in 1978 when he failed to find work. By a stroke of luck, that same year, he was offered a job hosting a radio show. By 1985, he was hosting his eponymous show on CNN, which ran for 25 years. Brendan Fraser. The current career of the handsome actor isn't what it used to be, and, in 2013, he told a judge that he was unable to pay his child support of $900,000 a year. The feud between Fraser and his ex-wife may have ruined him financially, but now he's focusing on making a showbiz comeback. Most recently, he was in the series The Affair. Mike Tyson. He was the youngest heavyweight boxing champion in history and was worth over $300 million at his peak. A divorce, a sexual assault accusation, and 3 years in prison later, Tyson returned to the ring as a damaged boxer and tore off part of Evander Holyfield's ear with his teeth. Tyson had to pay Holyfield $3 million in compensation and declared bankruptcy in 2003, with over $18 million in debt. The fallen champion now plays the voice of his own character in the animated show Mike Tyson Mysteries. Lauryn Hill. The singer-songwriter who seduced the musical world with her critically acclaimed album The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in 1998 has had her fair share of troubles. After withdrawing from the limelight, she made some public appearances marked by strange behavior before being arrested and sent to prison for failing to pay over $1 million in taxes. She blames society and her slave roots. Today Hill is still trying to pay off her debts, while giving the odd performance. Courtney Love. As the wife of Kurt Cobain, she inherited the singer's rights and those of his band, Nirvana, when he died in 1994. With her famously excessive party lifestyle, it's not surprising to learn that Love squandered over $27 million of Nirvana earnings on years of hard drug use and wild spending. Despite claiming that she can live within her means, she found herself in front of a judge in 2014 after selling a guitar she falsely claimed belonged to her deceased husband. Toni Braxton. Sometimes it takes several tries to learn a lesson. The R&B singer, famous for the hit, Unbreak My Heart, declared bankruptcy, not once, but twice, in 1996 and 2010. Thanks to her second financial ruin, Braxton was able to avoid over $13 million in debt to Sony Music. Along with battling lupus, Braxton hasn't been able to rekindle the success she had in the 90s, but you can catch her on her reality show Braxton Family Values. Wesley Snipes. After neglecting to pay over $17 million in back taxes from the early 2000s, the star of the series Blade went to jail for 3 years. Since then, he has been working on several small movie projects and is still appealing his case, claiming he was the victim of a conspiracy. LENA Headey. Headey must be thanking her lucky stars for the incredible success of Game of Thrones, in which she plays the role of Cersei Lannister. The gorgeous actress was on the edge in 2012 after a costly divorce. Depressed, she had to admit in court that she only had $5 in the bank and that she desperately needed the money from the sale of the house she shared with her ex-husband just to feed her 2 children. Things have really turned around for the actress, who recently purchased a house worth almost $1 million. Lil' Kim. Lil' Kim, often called the Queen of Rap, obviously spends more money on changing her appearance than paying her debts. Along with being sued by her former legal team for non-payment for services, she owes the government a tidy sum approaching $1 million, as she hasn't paid her taxes in almost 7 years. It seems she can't count on a hit to earn any money, as she hasn't been on the charts for quite some time. TERESA GIUDICE. The star of Real Housewives of New Jersey must face reality. Nothing good came of trying to make a good impression on television. Trying to look like they lived in the lap of luxury, she and her husband, Joe, were a bit too eager to borrow large amounts of money and lie about their income, to the point that the deceitful duo was sent to prison. Joe had to spend 3 years behind bars and Teresa 11 months in the slammer for the $13 million they owed. Lindsay Lohan. The young actress, who was once the apple of the public's eye, has since become a lesson on what not to do. Alcohol, drugs, arrests, the star's decline was on full display for the public's viewing pleasure. Begging on social media to survive, she attracted the sympathy of actor Charlie Sheen, who gave her $100,000 in 2012 to settle some debts. She still owes a total of $500,000 today and is unable to find work on the big screen. Johnny Depp. Despite being one of the most prolific actors in Hollywood, bad career choices and a frightening lifestyle are on their way to bringing the Jack Sparrow actor to ruin. Depp's agents say he's earned more than $650 million over the course of his career but is now struggling to pay the bills for his wild spending, including $30,000 on wine per month, a $10 million yacht, and roughly 40 full-time employees costing him $3.6 million per year. The 58-year-old is suing his agents for mismanagement of his finances. It's clear Depp is counting on his earnings from the latest Pirates of the Caribbean film to replenish his bank account. Please do subscribe for more information. Thank you for watching.